So it's weird talking to a camera, but...
Okay, how's that line of that collar? Is it all right?
I think pronouns are important because they make somebody feel comfortable, and I think it's just an easy thing to use to make somebody feel like they belong and like they can be themselves.
Language basically defines it as our social fabric. It helps us define who we are, and it helps us verbalise and conceptualise who we are as individuals.
We've set up the way that we speak to each other and address each other with salutations, etc. And I think that stuff's just really important to be respected and what makes people feel most comfortable.
Pronouns can give people a sense of strength and foundation and a point of reference to understand them in the context of the other. I think that personally, I don't know if there are pronouns that exist for where my identity sits.
While identity comes from inside, I think a lot of external factors also influence the way a person thinks and feels about themselves. To know what a person identifies with and the pronouns that they use is important, because that way we show our support, or we let them know that we see you as you see yourself.
It's just one of those things that if it's done in a wrong way, it sort of just eats at you every day. Like, people don't think it's a big deal when they mess up or they don't use the right ones, and they just think, oh, don't worry, forget about it. Because they don't think about it. They don't think about their own on a day-to-day basis, but think of it as like tiny little paper cuts to the person every day. And it's really important that if you screw it up, not to make it all about you and say, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I screwed, oh my God, oh, this is so embarrassing, like, you just need to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I mean they, cool, and then keep going with the conversation.
If I correct you for using the wrong pronoun, what that means is that I consider your point of view of me as important, and I want to keep you in my life at that level of trust and respect.
The pronouns I use are she, her, hers. I do accept they, them, theirs. It can't hurt. Pronouns are important to the community because it allows people to feel safe. You know, as a transgender woman going down the street, I don't feel comfortable being called man, dude, sir. It doesn't make me feel right, and it doesn't make me want to talk to people.
It's got to do with the identification, and it's got to do with the fact that when somebody identifies you as a female, already they're talking to you in a certain way. They're presuming certain things about you. It's uncomfortable because it's a label, it's an identification. It's really important within our community, particularly for butch dykes, but also for our trans brothers and sisters. You know, we just can't be labelled. Labels divide people, and yet we need to understand what gender identity is about and what sexuality is about and the difference between the two.
Pronouns are very important to us because that's, you know, some of us don't identify with the gender binary.
It's so lovely when someone uses the right pronoun, or even when someone corrects themselves and then uses the right pronoun. I just feel so accepted and so heard, and yeah, really like somebody's actually taking the time to consider what my experience is and to not go off assumptions. And I think pronouns are a really great opportunity to show someone that you're listening and you're not going off assumptions and that you care about that person.
Pronouns are critical for the trans community. It's the most simple and ubiquitous way that we interact with the world socially. You can completely erase someone's identity in one word if you get it wrong and don't try to get it right. A lot of people stress about pronouns, about, you know, so they're terrified of getting the wrong pronoun for someone and offending them. Most of us in the community, we don't care if you get it wrong once. Just listen, get it right the second time. It's so easy to validate or invalidate someone, and you can really ruin someone's day with 2 words.